Now that you've read the story Tree of Cranes, I hope that you'll join me as we create a paper crane of your own.
Hi there, so the first step we want to make our origami crane is we start off with a piece of origami paper if you have it. If you don't, you can always cut a piece of paper to size. It needs to be a perfect square, and origami paper is approximately 4.5 inches per side. So the first step is to fold the paper on the diagonal here, and we're going to try to be very careful to fold it so it is precise. We're just folding it along the diagonal and creasing it with your thumbnail. Open it up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, so when we're done it's going to look like it has an X right through the middle. So folding it along the diagonal again, although this time on the other side. And again, I'm going to try to be careful to fold it carefully. Okay, so when I unfolded them, it looks like I have an X in the middle of my paper. The next step is to flip your paper over, and this time we're going to be folding it horizontally. Okay, we're going to fold it in half horizontally. Okay, being sure to line up those edges. Okay, making nice crisp folds. Okay, and so now I have a line going this way. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to make another horizontal line going the other way. Okay, so now your paper should look like an X with a plus sign running through it. For this next step, we're going to turn it so one of the points is towards you. Now we're going to take both sides and I'm going to kind of fold it in along the corners there. And you'll notice that I have this part that kind of sticks up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully flatten that down and press. Okay, my next step, my corner is still facing me. So I'm going to take this right top hand corner and fold it to this center diagonal line here. And press down. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Take that top flap, fold it over till it meets that center line. Okay. This top crease is going to be folded down. The next step is to unfold this top triangle portion. Then I'm going to unfold this flap here until it looks like a giant mouth. You see that? It kind of looks like a mouth. So I'm going to keep stretching that mouth until the sides kind of fold in towards themselves. It's a little bit tricky. Don't worry if you don't get it the first time. We can always just keep practicing. And we're going to stretch it all the way down until it makes a diamond shape. Okay, so stretch it out until it makes a diamond shape. Okay, so now we have this nice rhombus shape. Okay, with my rhombus shape, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing on the back. So I'm going to fold this up. So now I'm going to flip it over, and on this side I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to unfold it and make that frog's mouth. Okay, keep extending it until we can create our diamond or rhombus shape. Okay, pressing down as I go. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the right hand corner and I'm going to fold it in until it meets that center line. And I'm going to do the same thing over here on the other side. Fold it in and meet that center line. Once you have done one side, we're going to flip it over and fold the other side, doing the exact same thing. So again, we're just making some very thin folds. Folding it into it meets that center line. For the next step, I'm going to just take my right hand edge and I'm going to just fold it over, just like I would be folding a book. When I do that, it kind of looks like a wolf's head. Okay, you just kind of see the wolf's ears here. What I do to one side, I need to do to the other, so I'm going to flip it over. And again, I'm going to take the top right side and fold it over to the other side, just like you would turn a book, turn the pages of a book. Press down on the middle fold. Okay, now I'm going to take, it's kind of looks like a wolf's head with his nose down here and his ears up here. I'm going to take his nose and I'm going to fold it up to meet his ears and fold right there along the middle crease. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. So now my papers look like a bunch of triangles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right hand side and I'm going to fold it over like a book. And I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing. Right hand side, fold it right there along the crease like a book. Okay, so now we're going to open it up just a little bit and pull out the middle sections. That's going to be the head and the tail for your crane. Okay, so on one end, let's bend it a little bit. Let's give that paper crane a head and a beak. The other end is going to be the tail. Now for the wings, let's go ahead and fold those over. Okay, on both sides. Give them a crease. Now, to give this bird a little bit of weight here, I can unfold it a little bit, press down a little bit there in the middle. Not too hard, because if I do, I run a risk of tearing the paper a little bit, but I can press down just a little bit, give that bird a little bit more body here. I can also push in just a little bit down here along the bottom. And there you go, one paper crane. And what you can do is you can go ahead and attach some string to it, and then you can add it to your own tree to make your own tree of cranes. Happy folding!